Ever since you were young, you've been handed a very specific script about power. You're told to puff out your chest, project total strength, and let everyone in the room know exactly how capable you are. But walking into a room showing off everything you can do is the mentality of a pawn. Loud dominance is incredibly easy to respond to. The moment you display raw capability, people close up. They protect their angles, guard their words, and hide their true motives. Niccolò Machiavelli observed that raw, visible strength naturally attracts resistance, the exact same way heat attracts pressure. When you push hard, the world pushes back. If you want to outsmart dirty players, you have to utilize a concept that terrifies the ego: controlled weakness. Weaponizing a chosen vulnerability creates an inescapable trap for the opponent. To pull this off, you have to stop caring about proving your intelligence to people who don't matter. You have to completely abandon your need for constant validation. Feeling powerful because you are the loudest voice in the room is an illusion. True leverage only begins the moment you turn off your ego so you can see your opponent's every move with perfect clarity. When someone believes they have the upper hand, their natural guard immediately drops. Presenting a slightly flawed exterior creates a false sense of safety in your enemy's mind. This chart shows how that data exchange works in real time. A loud player loves to feel superior. When they think they have the upper hand, they will gladly instruct, advise, and explain their methods, mistakenly thinking that teaching you is a way to assert dominance. While they explain how things really work, you just sit back and nod. Without realizing it, they expose their underlying processes, the logic they use, and their critical leverage points. The math of this interaction is entirely in your favor. The person asking the questions and appearing slightly confused is hoarding all the valuable intelligence, while the talker gives everything away for free. Feigning ignorance allows you to convert an opponent's overconfidence directly into your own strategic map. Your ego demands that you correct every single misunderstanding about yourself. If someone misjudges your plans or assumes you are weaker than you actually are, your natural instinct is to intervene immediately. You have to suppress that urge. Proving your enemy wrong too early destroys your advantage. You must actively let them believe their own flawed assumptions about you. Don't interrupt their illusion. Let it grow. When someone assumes you simply didn't notice their manipulation tactic, they feel perfectly safe repeating it. Their patterns emerge, their timing becomes readable, and their true intent becomes exposed. This dynamic triggers a highly specific psychological response in your enemy: extreme impatience. Impatience is a direct byproduct of perceived advantage. When they think you lack options, they stop managing themselves carefully. Because they think they are so far ahead of you, their greed takes over. They rush their decisions, offer premature concessions, and escalate without securing their position. They make careless, sloppy mistakes, and the structure collapses. By refusing to correct their flawed perception of you, you allow them to build their entire offensive strategy on a foundation of sand. You simply stand still and let them overextend until they defeat themselves. This is where you weaponize flexibility. You have been playing the fox, observing the traps, gathering data, and playing weak. Now, when the stakes peak, you become the lion. Your sudden display of absolute control is devastating because your opponent is entirely unprepared for it. If you always act strong, people prepare for strength. But because you utilized controlled weakness, their entire prediction model was permanently calibrated to an easy target. When the trap finally snaps shut, it happens with cold, clean execution. Dirty players thrive on prolonged contests and chaotic arguments. You explicitly deny them this. You strike decisively, without anger, emotion, or dramatic speeches. The massive mismatch between the lesser version of you they prepared for and the sharp reality they are now facing completely collapses their response time. They are left destabilized, entirely unsure of how the person they thought was a pawn just checkmated them in one move. True power does not require a loud presence. It doesn't require the validation of fools. It requires the total removal of your predictability. Master this, and you'll find that a silenced ego is the ultimate inescapable trap.